Hey guys, what's up? This is Roby here with the Divi Engine team coming at you with another tutorial today. And today we'll be covering how to create a custom single product page for your Divi install using just the tools you find right in Divi. Now we're going to be utilizing the theme builder in this tutorial, and we kind of expect that you know a little bit about Divi and that you also have WooCommerce installed with some sample products in there. So first off, let's take a look at what our product page looks like right now before doing anything with just Divi installed. We'll go over to our products that we preloaded in here. And then, I don't know, let's look at this V-neck shirt. All right, so here we can see it looks okay. You know, it's got all the important details here. You can select your color, your size, but you know, there's nothing really special about this. So when you look at it, you can immediately see that this is a WooCommerce and Divi site. So what we're going to do is try to utilize the theme builder to differentiate this a little bit from the other Divi WooCommerce sites that are out there. So for the first step, we're going to go back to our dashboard here, and we are going to open up the theme builder. And then we're going to add a new template. Now there's a lot of stuff in here, but what we're interested in today is we're going to select a template for all products. Now if you want to be super fancy, you can even select templates for specific products, for categories, all different sorts of things. But for the purpose of this tutorial, to get you going and teach you those fundamentals, which you can later use to kind of apply it to specific categories or products, whatever you want, we'll look at the all products. So once we selected that, let's click on Create Template. So that creates our template really quickly. Next thing we need to do is add a custom body, and we'll say Build Custom Body. And everything's going to look super familiar if you're already used to using Divi. So we're going to select Build from Scratch here. And then the first part we want to build out is that main area where our products details will be living. So let's click on a 2-column row. And then the first thing we're going to add in here, let's search image. And we'll add the images module, which will bring in those thumbnails of the product. And there's really nothing we need to add in here. We can just say cool. And now we want to display the title on here. So let's just type in title into the box here and Woo title. Now for Woo title, we're not going to do much here, but we'll do some styling on this title text. So when we go into title text here, we like the Poppins font for this one. So let's type that in. We'll use a bold because we want it to stand out on the page. And then we'll just give it a nice black color, so it kind of lifts off the page a little bit. And we'll make it a little bit bigger. We'll give it a 36 on desktop. And I think we'll go with a 28 on mobile. Seems reasonable to me. And once we're done with that, just click OK. So next thing we want to add, we want to tell people what this costs. So let's add a price module. And again, nothing fancy on the content tab, but when we go to the design tab, we want to give this a Roboto font, which I have in there already. And then we'll make it nice and bold. And we will give it a green color here that we use often, but the code for that is 0FE5A8. And you can see that this already looks a ton better. Now to give our users some information on the product, we will add the description module. And we're going to use a short description here because, you know, we don't want to overload the user with information, but you can use either or depending on what you guys want to do here. So it's entirely up to you. And for the description, we'll head over to the design tab. We'll select the text. We're going to go with Roboto again. But this time we'll use its light iteration. You can see that looks pretty good already. But we'll up that font size a little bit to 18. All right, that is looking good. All right, so now what use is this page if we can add things to cart? So let's add the add to cart module. And with this, we're going to go ahead again to the design tab. We're going to style the text on the page. And again, we'll use Roboto because we really want to reserve that Poppins font for the things that we want to highlight on the page, like the product name, some type of call to action, something like that. So that's why we go with the Roboto. We'll go with light again. That looks a little bit more pleasing. And then we want to style that button. This is not very appealing. Let's go down to the button style. We'll select the custom style. We want that font to be white. The background, we're going to use our green color again. So if we hit recents here, we just get that on there. We're going to take that border away. We don't want that border showing up. And then we'll give it a border radius. We're going to make a nice round button. So let's do 50. Should be good. Oops, 50. There we go. Nice and round. And then uppercase for the text on the button. That looks good. And then lastly, we want to add some padding to this so that we have a little fuller button on the page. That looks good. It's kind of in line with the quantity selector here. Already a huge upgrade on what we had going on before. Awesome. So we also want to tell our customers, what type of reviews does this product have? I love seeing on the page, what other people thought of a product. So let's go ahead and add the rating module. By selecting that, and there we see it right there. And then really quickly we can just jump into, now just for your information, you can toggle on things like showing the stars or not, or maybe you don't want the actual amount of reviews on there. That's up to you. That's a choice that you can make, but it's pretty cool that you can have something like this right on the page. Let's go to the design, and then what we want to do is style the star rating setting here. And then we're going to give it a color, a nice yellow color, that gold star feeling for your product. And we're going to go with the code FFD700. And it gives us this nice deep yellow color. And of course, we want nice big stars, so we will add 18 pixel size for that. Perfect. Now, also, you see how this is blue right here. We don't like that. So just to quickly offset that, we will just click on black here and boom. Looks a bit better, a little bit more pleasing to the eye. But also just keep in mind that on the front end, that is a clickable link that will take you down to the reviews for this product if you have a review module on the page. So just so you know, very useful to utilize that. Excellent. Cool. So now maybe we want to let our customers know what type of category they're in. So let's add the meta module, and this will display all the meta information like the SKU on the product, things like stock, that type of stuff. For us, we are going to disable the SKU. We're going to disable the tags, and actually it won't display the stock. That's a different part, just the tags. But we just want to see the category on the page here. So we'll switch that off, and then we'll go to the styling of this meta module. And we'll just say that we would like the text to be uppercase. And we want to add that black color again. Now, don't be alarmed if it doesn't show up here on the page. You see that nice divider. On the front end, it will certainly show once it actually pulls in a product. So don't be alarmed at that. Let me just say, cool. And now, one thing that I like to put on this product page is sometimes just a little advisory section in the product details section. Maybe you want to plug a promo. That's always a good spot to do that, or create some confidence. So we're going to do both these things. We're going to add a text module where we're going to tell our customers that they'll get free shipping for any orders over $100. So let's go ahead and underneath this meta box, hit that plus, and then we'll add a text module, just a plain text module. And then the text that we're using for the content here, we'll type in get free shipping for, well, actually, let's just say on orders over 100. Awesome. And now we're going to add a nice background color, so this pops kind of off the page again. And we will be adding that familiar Divi engine purple. That's 5430CE. Now that doesn't look very visible, but we're going to fix that right now on the design tab. we'll be converting our text to uppercase. We'll make it the Poppins font because, again, this is one of those things we want to pop on the page. We'll keep it, well, we'll set it to bold. And then we'll make it white. Now we can actually see the text. We'll increase the size to 18 pixels. Better already. And we want to make sure that we center this right in there. And then the last thing we want to do is we want to add some padding to it. So if we go to spacing here, let's add 15 pixels of top padding and link it to the bottom. And now it makes a nice little bar on there. It grabs your attention immediately and you kind of know what it's about. And it might be that incentive to push your user into a, some type of upsell to get them over the $100. As we can see, this one's 75 pounds. So ignoring the conversion rate, of course, this could be a good spot to get them to increase that customer purchase size. Okay, so now what about creating that confidence we just talked about? We're going to add a couple of blurbs here. One that is going to let them know that they can get returns. And number two is that there are secure purchases on the site using encryption. Now for that, we're going to add a blurb. So let's just add a blurb module. And here for the title on the first module, we'll just say 100% guarantee. All right, I'm feeling good already. I don't know about you guys. And then we'll just say a little explanation of what that means. Don't like it. Get a full refund. Easy as that. Okay, but that's not really looking how we want it to look yet. So we'll get rid of that image. We'll utilize the icon. And home is where the heart is, so we'll add a home icon here. We'll go to the next section here in design. We'll style the color to be our green color that we have utilized a few times now on the site. Recents, and then I get it in there. I love this feature of the new Divi. We're going to put the icon on the left hand side. Now that looks tons better. And then we want to make sure that we put the Poppins font, our signature font. So we'll put that in the title. Poppins, we want to make that nice and bold. And we'll have it be black, which it kind of is already. And then just for that body text, we're gonna set the Roboto font. And we'll put Roboto on light. That looks perfect. Cool. Okay, so now to make things easy on ourselves, we're just gonna go ahead and duplicate this module. We will go ahead and change the text, of course, and we will put in there that this transaction is 100% secure. Okay, so secure payments. And then we'll just say all transactions are encrypted. Awesome. And the last thing, we will change up the icon. Oop, that's right here. And for this, we'll just add the credit card icon, which is right here. Perfect. And that pretty much does it for this product information section. So to take things further, we're going to add a section for our notices, or our cart notices, because that ugly blue color that it usually does is not going to cut it. So let's go ahead and add a new single column row. We'll add the notice module. And for this, we're going to style the background in our purple color this time. So that's at 5430 CE. The font we'll use is Roboto. I think you guys can kind of see the trend emerging here. We'll make the text nice and light. And we will make sure that it's white. Just force that in there. Sometimes the CSS overrides certain settings in here. So we're just going to make sure that that stands out like that. And we will set it to 21 pixels. And we want to style this button. But we already have a button styled here. So we're going to make this easy on ourselves. So we're going to say, OK, there. We're going to come in. We're going to say design. And we're going to copy the button styles. Now, this is a neat feature also that's been recently introduced. And you can just right click. And then you can say paste button styles. And boom, immediately your button is the same. You don't have to do a bunch of extra work. Everybody's happy. Now, what we need to do with this is we need to drag this above the section because, we want to make sure the user sees when something's been added to the cart in a super easy spot. So to follow up on this, we're also going to add some breadcrumbs to the page. This is good for SEO, but it's also good for your user just to orientate them on your site. So let's add another single column row. And we are going to add a breadcrumbs module. Now you see how we're using all these new WooCommerce modules. It's very useful to really create that custom experience for your visitors. And now here you can change the home text, you can change the home link, you can do all sorts of cool stuff. But we're not going to be messing around too much. The main thing we want to do here with this breadcrumb module is to just control what the fonts look like. So we'll go to text again. We'll reuse that Roboto font and we'll use it in light. And we will make the text white. And then just to give it some room on the page, we're going to add some spacing on this as well. And we'll add some padding for top and bottom, 10 pixels. And then here, just on the left-hand side, we're going to add some padding, not as pixels, but as a percentage, so that it scales nicely on different devices. And we'll just say OK on that. Now, we don't see it because, of course, our text is white. We're going to go ahead and open the row settings, set the background to black. OK, we see our text again now. And now we want to make sure that for sizing, that we go ahead and we make it 100% width. And then we drag this max width slider all the way to the right also. Now, so that it nicely fills up the whole page, we'll drag this to the top of our page. And now I forgot to do two things here. We need to go in and adjust the text size for this. So we'll go in, design, text. We want to increase that a bit to 16. And then we are going to just remove some padding on the main section here for the top so that this fits nice and snug at the top of the page. And we'll just remove the top margin and the top padding. That moves it right to the top. Perfect. One thing I also need to do here is just go ahead and to uppercase this. And let me just go down to padding here, spacing, 10, 10, 10. That looks like a bit much. Let's maybe go with 5 pixels. Okay, and then just for the spacing on this actual row, we want to make sure there's no margin. And then we also want to remove any internal padding so that that text padding that we added to the actual breadcrumb module takes effect. Cool. Okay, so now with our users orientated, we want to add a section where they can review reviews, but also submit reviews on the site. So for this, we're actually going to add a completely different section. So add a new section. It's going to be a regular one. And then we'll just use one column row. Now, the first thing we need to add here is a review module. So let's type in review. Boom. And then the elements you can adjust here as well. We're going to keep all the elements that we have on there at the moment, but we're going to style them, of course. So the first thing we do is we go to design, and we're going to look at image. And for the image, we're going to make nice round avatars. Oops. There we go. Round avatars, 50 pixels. That does the job. And then we want to style the review text. So the review count text here. And take a guess what font we'll use for this, because we have it standing out, is the Poppins font. And we will set that to a semi-bold. Alrighty. We're going to make that uppercase. And this will actually go ahead and center on the page. And set the color to black explicitly. And then we'll add a little bit of size to it here. We're going to put 34 for desktop. And then 21 for mobile. Just so it doesn't overflow on the page. We'll see here. Let me scroll down. So far so good. Our page looks great. And you know, this avatar on mobile kind of pushes the content over a little bit, and I feel like distracts maybe a little bit from the page. So let's go back to content here, and we can actually tell it here on the elements that when we're on mobile, we'd actually like the avatar to be off. So now you see when we switch back to desktop, it's there, but when we preview our site in mobile, it's actually disabled. So that's another cool feature that you can utilize in different ways on your sites. And I find that very useful. Now, if we go back to our desktop view here, close that out. And let's go desktop. There we go. We still have some work to do on this review module. So let's go back in. And let's take a look at our form title text. So form title text, and that's that text you see there. We're going to keep that on Poppins. And you see that at the bottom there. We will keep that at a bold because it's a little bit hidden at the bottom. And we'll increase that font size as well to 21. That makes it easy for the user to see where they go to submit the reviews. And we're not done with the text editing yet, or the styling. We go to the meta. The meta is this information on the user. So for meta, we go back, and again it's Poppins, because this is, again, we want to acknowledge our clients that have taken the time to put a review. And then we'll give them just that regular font size that we've got going there. And then we will add our awesome Divi engine purple, so it stands off the page a little bit, and we will increase the size ever so slightly to 18 pixels. Excellent. And that's that for the meta text. Next up, we've got the stars here. We want them to be in line with the other stars that we've done before. So let's go to the star rating, and we can actually use that recent color, or yellow, and then we set it to 18 pixels, just as the other one was. And that's pretty much it. The only other thing that we want to address here is comment text, which I blissfully skimmed over. We'll go with a Roboto text. We're going to use light. And that's pretty much it for that text. If you want, you can increase the size a little bit. I don't know. Maybe we'll go up to, 16 pixels. Yeah, looks a bit better. And then we go for the button again. Now we're going to go ahead and copy and paste our button settings again. So let's close that. Come up here to this module. We'll go design, button, right click it, copy button styles, go back down, go your button, right click, paste button styles, and as if by magic, there it is. It's very convenient to do it this way. Now, another thing we just want to do here, because we'll be styling this section with a image pattern as well as a color. We want to make sure that we make this background color here white, but also add a little bit of padding for this module, just so that it actually is not on the edge of the color and the pattern we'll be putting in. Made this white. We are going to add a box shadow to this row, and we'll do the first option here. Now that doesn't look great yet, but that's what I was just talking about. We are going to go ahead and to the actual module, apply some padding. So if we go to spacing under the design tab, and we add 5% padding for top, and then for left and right also, we should have something that looks a bit better. We don't put anything on the bottom here for padding, just because we've got the spacing created by the button, so it's not really needed on that section. So when we go to the actual section settings, we're going to add a background color of F9, F9, F9. See it? F9, F9, F9. You see a slight gray color there. But we're also going to be adding an image. Now I've already uploaded my image here, and it's a dot pattern that I have going on. You don't see it now, but once I upload it here, you can see it applied to the page here. Just want to make sure that it's set on cover, center, and no repeat. And that looks pretty cool at this point in time. And we haven't really done that much, but it really sets it apart from that standard review page that we had before. So that's pretty cool stuff. But we're not going to stop there. We're going to add some image modules. Now we're going to be using a Divi engine logo, but you can really utilize any image here depending on what you're selling. Maybe if you're selling fruit or something like that, you want slices of fruit on the page. But this is, again, just to illustrate a tool for you to use to enhance the sites that you're building. So let's add an image module. Image. And I will go ahead and select our little logo here. I'll hit upload. And this is huge. So first thing we're going to do is that we're going to go into the sizing. We'll set a maximum width of 150 pixels. And boom, that's much smaller already. Looks good. And then on the advanced tab, we want to go to position. We're going to say absolute. And now we're ready to go. I went right up here because we have the top left-hand corner selected. And we're going to add offset. Now you can play with this and just dragging it up and down. But I found for this, I'm just going to type it, that -75 is a good spot. And then same for here, -75. And you see it puts it kind of like right on the corner there. But again, you can play with it and set it up and down, left and right, however you choose. And whatever image you choose, you can really do a ton of different things with this. It's a really cool feature. And then we're also going to go ahead back to design here, and we're going to add a roll animation, because if you've seen our tutorial videos, that's kind of how we intro into the video. So keeping suit with our brand here. So boom, that one is ready. Now what I'm going to do, so I'm going to be lazy pants again, and I'm going to copy this module, because we want one at the bottom as well. So go ahead and paste that. Now we'll see that there's two, so just double click one of them. Now all you need to do is go to advanced here, go to positions, and now you just say bottom right, and you'll see the module appear on the bottom right hand here. Now it already has those offsets in here, but again, you can adjust them, you can really do anything you like. It's just another cool feature of Divi that's native within it that you can utilize, and it's fairly new still, so a lot of people don't know about this. When you're done there, you can just click OK, and that's it for this review section. Okay guys, so coming up in the home stretch here, the last component that we're going to be adding is a related product section at the bottom of the page, just incentivizing the user to check out some other products you might have, and add a little button that takes you back to the full shop page. So to go ahead and do that, we're going to add another section. It'll be regular. We're going to make it full width. It's not going to be much action here. We're going to type in related for Woo related products. Just scroll down here a bit so we can see what we're doing. And then what we're going to do is we will change this overlay icon to be something that makes a little bit more sense for our brand. So overlay icon color, we go with our fun purple color for the Divi engine colors. There we go. Now you can see that's already purple. And because this is to go check out some more info, we will add the magnifying glass icon. And I'll probably skip over it 4 times before I find it here. There we go. Magnifying glass. And we will go to the star rating, because again, we've got the star ratings here. And not because we're lazy, but because we're efficient, we're going to go and copy the star settings here. And it's again just to illustrate the different features in Divi you might not know of that could be making your life a little bit easier. So we'll just right click, copy star styles, come down here, and you can just click on the module, and then you just say, oh, okay, well, no, it is not letting me do it there. Let me just go in. Maybe I copied it incorrectly. Nope, paste star styles, boom, super easy, we're in. Okay, next up, let's look at the title text. At the top of the page, you guessed it, pop-ins it is. Semi-bold, let's see. Yep, semi-bold we'll go with. We'll put that in the center. We'll make it uppercase. And then, of course, we'll make sure that it's black explicitly. And we'll increase the size here to 34 pixels. Now, it's a good size. And cool. So now we want to move on to the actual product title. Just minimize that. Again, we go with pop-ins. We are going to center align that text. And just again, explicitly tell it to be black. And then lastly, we'll play with the price here. This will be the Roboto font. We are going to make it heavy, so it pops a bit more here at the bottom. We'll center that also. And I actually need to center that star rating also. I'll do that in one moment. We will go with our green font and increase that size to about 21 pixels. That looks good. Now just if I come back up here to the star rating, I can actually align it to the center very easily. And that's it. Last thing left to do here is to add our button to the page that will take our user to the shop. So let's type in button and go ahead and be lazy bones again. Go to button, yeah. Right click, copy styles, come back down. And now hopefully this works this time. Paste button styles. But there will be a slight difference. That's a lot of green going on. First, let's just center that button. On the actual button, we'll change the background to go with our Divi Engine purple. That looks awesome. And for a little pizzazz, we'll add some box shadow and just that little hover effect. And click OK. And that is it, ladies and gentlemen. Let's take a look at what we did. Save our work. Okay, so now if we close the editor here, save. This is an important step because we just added this template. It is only saved once you click that top save button on this section. So let's go back to products. Okay. Products. Let's go look for a V-neck shirt. Click on view. And there you have it. You have created a thing of beauty, ladies and gentlemen. Look at that cool spin animation. I already did a review here. And yes, Divi Engine is awesome. But yeah, you get a good idea of what is possible. I know this page doesn't look the best, but it really is only to serve to give you and get your mind going on what is possible with some of the tools you can find natively in Divi. Now, another thing you might want to check out, I'll do a quick review of a product page that I actually constructed that looks similar to this one, but utilizing some of the tools found in BodyCommerce. Okay guys, so here is that same product page in BodyCommerce. Now it looks same, but trust me, it is different. And if you don't know what BodyCommerce is, definitely check out the link in the description here. Get to know it. Maybe there's a discount out there somewhere for you. This product is amazing and will change the way that you build Divi e-commerce websites. So let me highlight some of the things that are different here. In BodyCommerce, with your gallery, you have a few options of how the images are presented and navigated. So we've got this vertical slider, but we have a horizontal version, one that expands, the default one, and just a slider. That's pretty cool stuff. We also have enhanced swatches. So now when you've got products that have a color associated with them, you can just go ahead and use the swatches right here, and actually displays the color. You can also display your sizes, which is pretty cool stuff right here at the bottom. Now think about this, like when you have a product that has textures, different types of material, that type of stuff, maybe different types of wood, you can even add images here for your product attributes. And really, it changes the game in the way that you serve your customers. It helps you convert more. It really, really, really is a big deal. And for me, for one, I like to see the color, because red on my e-commerce site might be different than red on your e-commerce site. So it's very valuable for the user, and to reduce returns, to be able to actually see what they'll be getting. Now, another thing that we have added on here is you actually have awesome sharing features for your products that you can share directly to social networks. You can add up to 7 different types of sharing platforms. So there's email, there's WhatsApp, which is super popular. There is Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, so many options. Just another thing in today's world where you can't live without on an e-commerce site. So it is really, really good stuff. And then lastly, I'm just going to point out here at the bottom, and this is the atomic bomb feature that you get within BodyCommerce. It really is one of the most amazing things, is the fact that you can build these custom product loops like the one that I have right here. And if you don't know what a product loop is, we'll get into that a little bit in another video. But basically, it is the way that your products are displayed on a page and then looped through on the archive pages. So think about your shop page and the way the individual product cards look. You can go handcraft those, which is amazing. It really is an awesome feature. And, I have a side-by-side view here, but you can put all of this text info at the bottom. Really, your imagination is the only limit here. And then we put our loop into a nice, convenient product carousel. So you can control this carousel in many different ways. It's super easy to do, and just such a benefit to your user to give them the experience of seeing the products on the page, interact with your site super easily, because we want to minimize that, the amount of clicks that it takes to get to the sale. So again, this is a feature that cannot be overstated. It is amazing. And with that, you've heard my rant and my shameless plug at the end. Thank you so much for watching this tutorial. If there are any other topics you'd like us to cover, please comment on the video or on the actual page on our site at diviengine.com. And, I'll catch you guys in the next video. I look forward to seeing you. Bye.